Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a great weekend. If you want to follow along this morning, we'll be in the book of Genesis, chapter number 17, and we will begin in verse 3 as God continues his conversation with Abram. The Bible tells us there, says, Then Abram fell on his face, and God said to him, Behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. One of the things that we see here, and there's a lot of different directions really that we could go in this passage, but I want to emphasize to you something that really we see in the opening words. Abram falling on his face. How do we grow in our faith? How do we have a strong experience with God, a revival, if you will, and that is by humbling ourselves before God, listening to God, being obedient to God, obeying His Word, studying His Word, hearing what God has to say, and then not only hearing, but then we are to be not just hearers of the words, but doers of the Word. And so Abram falls on his face and begins to take in all that God is saying to him. He's showing reverence for God. He's showing that he is ready to listen, that he is ready to receive, he is ready to obey. One of my favorite hymns, I love the old hymn, Trust and Obey. I think if we go out into church, we would find that many people who profess to be believers trust God. They believe every word that he says. They accept the Bible as the entire, complete, inerrant, infallible Word of God. They trust Him, but the challenge is then to obey them, and that is what God is calling on Abram. And God reminds Abram here of that truth, that he's been chosen. He has been picked to be part of a special covenant, to receive, to be the father of a great multitude, and that it falls on him, and that he is to be God's servant. Let's touch for a moment as well on God changing his name. I've been changing his name ever since we've been talking about him. I've called him Abraham a number of times now. Now it will be official. God changes his name to Abraham. And the word Abraham means, Abram means high father. Abraham means the father of a multitude. And so this is a turning point now in the life of Abraham. From this point on, he's going to be reminded every time he hears his name of the covenant that God has made with him, that he is to be the father of a great nation, and he is to be again. Verse. I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit. In the next verse, it says, I'm going to make you exceedingly fruitful. And so every time he hears his name from now on, he is going to be reminded of the promise, the great covenant of God. And so there's two lessons there I think we need to take from this experience in Abraham's life. And one is the humbling himself, submitting himself to hear and to do the Word of God, and then to constantly be refreshing in our own hearts and our own minds, the bringing to remembrance, to use sort of a biblical terminology, bringing to remembrance the promises of God, the covenant of God, the love of God, our relationship with God. Life has a way of throwing things in our path that will distract us and put us on a detour, get us on a sidetrack, if you will, from trusting and obeying, to use that phrase again. But we need to be reminded that God has a promise to us as well. He has expectations of us as well that are played out in the Word of God. Hope you'll think about that today. Something's going to come your way that's going to seek to cause you to doubt and wonder, to question. Keep your focus on God. Humble yourself before Him and trust Him in all your ways. Think about it. You have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.